that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a god out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say they see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Them back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big, you feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair, you had the advantage, we wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy, Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them pyramids we made. I was chosen by that man, you know y'all just been running game. The nerve of you acting like I ain't.
What's going on, family, and welcome back to another episode of the Campaign TV Show, and I'm your host, Brother King Cam. So tonight, if you read the title, family, we're going to be discussing justice for Jayland Walker. We're going to be talking about the mass shooting that happened in Chicago over the holiday weekend, as well as the fact we're going to also be talking about Brittney Griner, what's been going on with her, and the United States supposedly working to get our sister released, family. So look, I'm going to drop this record by Brother Ben X. It's called 400 Years. We're going to share this out. We're going to do some things on the backside to make sure we get everybody tapped in, and then we're going to get right into tonight's conversation, all right?
You don't tell the white man that you're willing to go back and cut no underbrush. We already did that once. If we have to do it again, that's not progress. Hell no. Get out of the cities and the towns that we helped you build. Go and find some other state to move in. You move out, we move in. Now wait a minute. You say, oh, come on, Farrakhan, that's a pipe dream. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then.
400 years we've been lacking reacting. And the more lacking we acting, we standing up, now we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. And the more lacking we acting, we standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. The youth don't need a stunt double. Introduce them to the real thing. Gotta tell them about the hidden hand. Real talk, that's the real bang. Introduce you to the white man. Think you made it, that's the real pain. Then I let you see a white snake and you can't see they the same thing. Get your bread, yeah, build your business. Hidden hand in the same lane. Keep a slaves in a small cell. Tell a young nigga bang bang. Shoot first, ask questions later. Two brothers in the same game. Fuck that like fuck crack. Big dog like a Great Dane. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. And the more lacking we acting, we standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. And the more lacking we acting, we standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years in a living hell. Break chains, gotta break free. Do for self like Elijah said. Fire him before he fire me. Eat good, he the man of God. Ain't falling for the vaccine. Up late, playing, plotting freedom. Still building, no caffeine. Better tune in to Farrakhan, cause this here is a marathon. Build now, getting real now. Witness the fall of Babylon. Black man, you the first man. Getting tricked by mankind. If we unite and rise up, we'll win every damn time. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. And the more lacking we acting, we standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reacting. And the more lacking we acting, we standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping.
Pay me for my pain, yeah, pay me for my tears. Pay me reparations for all 400 years. All my people struggled and all my people feel. And now we come and taking everything while we give it some.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my brother Ben X, man. Y'all can follow him on all social media platforms. Download that record, family. My brother Shaquem, Muhammad as well. You can follow him as well, man. Tap in. You can download that via streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, etc., etc. All right. So look, man, we got a power pack show for tonight, family. Man, we're gonna be talking about and discussing justice for Jayland Brown. So let me go ahead and get this pulled up right now. And for those who are tuning in, family, I need you to like and share and subscribe. Smash the like button and smash that subscribe button, family, so that we can get these numbers up over here with our YouTube fam. All right. So shout out to Brother Ray. Shout out to Brother Ray. Peace, family. Peace to Brother Bernard. What's going on, Brother Bernard? Wa alaikum salam. Yeah, Brother Ben dropping them bars, family. So share this out, fam. Let's get some people into this room. This is probably about the 4th week we may have been streaming straight from YouTube. Stop streaming on Facebook. We streaming over here on YouTube, family. So, man, hey, the name of the game is being consistent. So that's what we looking to do, so we can get these numbers up, family. So, but it's gonna take y'all to help me to get the numbers up. All right. So, and also, if you would like to just be a part of what we got going on with the podcast, you can stay tuned in. At the bottom of the screen, text the word podcast to 404-737-1030. You'll be added to the text list. From the text list, you'll receive notifications, information. We'll conversate on a daily about what we planning on doing with the podcast and things like that. So you definitely want to make sure you tuned in for that. All right, family? So let me pull this up, because it goes right with our conversation. And we're going to start right here. All right. So this right here, family, is an article. There we go. For Jayland Walker. All right. So many of you have heard by now Jayland Walker's name. He was a young black man who was unarmed and unnecessarily executed in Akron, Ohio. He was executed by Akron police. And it says that Jayland Walker suffered at least 60 wounds. Now, when you read the article, the initial number was 90. They shot at him 90 times, family. I want you to hear what I'm saying. They shot at this man 90 times, right? Hit him 60 times. Jayland Walker suffered at least 60 wounds in fatal police shooting. Akron police chief says as authorities release body cam footage. So this is updated as of Monday, July the 4th. Now, I first learned of Jayland Walker in the execution on Friday, but it was stated that the body cam footage would not be released until Sunday. So I said, okay, let's wait for the body cam footage, and then we'll proceed forward after seeing the body cam footage. So the body cam footage was released on Sunday. Many people have seen it. I'm not going to play it on here, but many people saw it. They dumped 90 bullets in their pursuit of Jayland Walker because he was fleeing from the police, running away from them. And you know the classic police saying, they feared for their life. So it was okay for them to shoot our brother and shoot him like a dog. On top of that, 60 times in fatal police shooting. So let's just read this news. Well, listen to this news article right here. Actually, this is the body cam footage.
Authorities in the city of Akron released about 18 minutes of body camera videos.
Yeah, that's the body cam footage.
Offering a different perspective, showing 8 responding officers before they opened fire, shooting and killing Jayland Walker. After the release of the footage, Akron's police chief said those officers will have to be accountable for each one of the shots they fired.
They need to be able to articulate what specific threats they were facing And that goes for every round that goes down the barrel of their gun. And they need to be held to account.
Investigators over the weekend shared more about the possible perceived threat the officers faced during the pursuit, including a single gunshot that allegedly came from inside Walker's car while police were chasing his vehicle. They say this muzzle flash image captured by state traffic cameras is evidence, and investigators later recovered a shell casing at that scene. It was shortly after the car chase turned foot chase that you can see in this video those 8 officers opened fire with a barrage of bullets. Officers described Walker reaching for his waistband right before they shot him, according to the police chief. Walker was unarmed at the time of the shooting. The Akron Police Union released a statement saying, "The decision to deploy lethal force, as well as the number of shots fired, is consistent with use of force protocols and officers' training." The medical examiner's report showed Walker's body had at least 60 wounds as a result of gunfire. Walker's family attorney.
If you have a gun on you, and you drop your weapon and leave, and you see him running across the parking lot, you can't drop him and seize his body with bullets.
After the release of body cam footage nearly a week after the shooting, tensions flared, sparking a 4th day of protests in Akron.
What I did see is, him get out of the car and start running, and people firing on him. And does it take that much?
Walker's family says they want to get justice for Jayland in a peaceful and dignified way.
We don't want any rioting or anything like that. We want answers. We feel that the pain, and personally, I want to scream out and be mad. But what is that going to do? We want to take that anger. We want to use it for the benefit of systemic change.
Yeah, see, like I said, I wasn't going to show the body cam footage at first, but they have it here on the page, so we just went ahead and let it rock. But yeah, I don't agree with that, and we shouldn't agree with that, family. No, we want to be outraged. We don't want to be just sitting up here, not giving any type of emotion to what happened, because we seen what happened, as you just saw, body riddled with 60 shots, 90 bullets, 60 hits for a man who was fleeing from the police, who was running away from the police, and you always hear the lingo. Oh, he was reaching for the waistband. He fired a gun. Even if he did, say for the lack of the argument, he did fire a gun. It's 20 of y'all out there. There's 13 officers out there to be exact. And he got 1 gun. Y'all got 13 guns. The math ain't mathing, family. It don't make no sense. Why does it take all of that when he's already outnumbered, outgunned, outnumbered, outmanned? Even if he had a weapon. But we know that our people don't be rolling like that. So it says a 25-year-old black man suffered at least 60 wounds when police officers fatally shot him last week following a high-speed chase during which the man fired a gun out of the driver's side window, authorities said. Jayland Walker was unarmed at the time he was killed, though a gun was recovered from his car after the shooting. Akron, Ohio Police Chief Stephen Milet said at a news conference Sunday when police released large portions of the body camera videos from 13 officers who were at the scene, prompting more questions about Walker's death June 27. The shooting remains under investigation by the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations. According to Milet, 8 officers fired their weapons following the vehicle pursuit in a short foot chase, believing Walker was turning towards them, reaching towards his waist and moving into a firing position. There's no way that you running away from the police, and that in the process of you running away from the police are able to see that you are reaching in your waistband, turning towards them and moving into a firing position. There's no way that all of that can happen within that small amount of time, and you able to decipher all of that and decide that that is a threat to you, and now you have to move with deadly force. There's no way that you perceive all of that in real time. No way. While a medical examiner's report found Walker suffered at least 60 wounds, the medical examiner is still working to determine how many times he was shot and which wounds are entrance wounds and which are exit wounds, Milet said. The BCI has yet to confirm the number of times Walker was shot, Milet said, and it's still not known how many rounds police officers fired. However, based on the video, I anticipate that number to be high, he said. A lot of rounds were fired. The incident began at 12:30 a.m. last Monday when police say Walker fled as officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop for traffic and equipment violations. About 40 seconds after the pursuit began, police say a gunshot was fired from Walker's vehicle. I'm trying to figure out, why does it take all of these officers to initiate a traffic stop for traffic and equipment violations? Ultimately, it's 13 officers at the scene. How does that happen within this small amount of time for a traffic stop and equipment violations? You need 13 officers for that? You need 4 or 5 officers for that? That changes the whole nature of the traffic stop, Miles said Sunday. It went from being a routine traffic stop to now a public safety issue, and then the pursuit continued. After several minutes, Walker got out of his car and fled on foot. Police said officers deployed tasers, Miles said, but they were unsuccessful in subduing Walker. The incident ended soon after when, according to a police timeline, Walker stopped and quickly turned towards the officers, and officers discharged their weapons. At least one officer can be heard near the end of the videos that were released shouting ceasefire. The 8 officers who Miles said were directly involved in the shooting have all been placed on paid administrative leave per department policy. According to information released by the city, 7 of the officers are white and 1 is black. The video is something that should never ever have to be seen. Ken Albarno, an attorney for Walker's family, said at a separate news conference Sunday. Each time I've watched the video, it's gotten worse for me, Albarno said. Every movement that I see, every shot that I heard, and every time that I see Jayland lying on the ground just gets more and more horrific. So this is what you have going on, family. Again, another unarmed black man shot and killed, chopped down by the police. Let me move this screen. And this is why black media is so important, because we have to keep these stories on the forefront. That's why black media is so important, because we have to keep these stories on the forefront, because if not, they'll get drowned out by the media with other stories. And stuff like this will get swept under the rug. Stuff like this will get swept under the rug. So I disagree with the family who said we don't want no protest. No, you need to go ahead and protest. You need to go out there and you need to let your voices be heard. But the thing is also, though, after we protest, after we march, what are we going to do to prevent this from happening? Because it's about prevention at the end of the day. It's about prevention at the end of the day. How do we stop this from happening? We've been saying that since Trayvon Martin. We've been saying that since Oscar Grant and, all of the other unarmed shootings that took place. Sean Bell. All of the other shootings and killings of unarmed black men. We have been talking prevention, but we haven't been acting towards prevention. Now, of course, we have to push our government for legislation that protects black people from anti-hate crime, because this is all that is. The police are acting as terrorists, domestic terrorists against black people, and this is what leads to this type of stuff. Because imagine you being pulled over by the police and it's like 5 or 6 cars there, and if this is a routine traffic stop, then what's all the police there? So now you've heightened the uneasiness of the situation. You've now added more pressure, right? Now the ante's being raised just for the simple presence of there being so many police there. Police know this. People don't understand. The police don't understand how trash their relations with the community are right now. Like, the police don't know that. So if you happen to have to sit down, or you happen to come across an individual, the police don't know that their community relations is on E. So, of course, his fear is heightened now because there's so many police. So that's why when he was like, hey, I'm not about to be on the RIP shirt, he swerved. Because he's like, y'all on some funny style stuff. It don't take all of this for a routine traffic stop. So that's probably why he left. That's probably why he took off. So now when he take off, it just escalates the situation more. Now they call more police officers. So it start with 3-4 police officers. Then it becomes 8. Then it becomes 13. Then he just jump out of the car and start running. You know, thinking like, okay, they just gonna tackle me or something, lock me up, realize I didn't do nothing, and we can move from there. But it was just too much going on at the time. No, he's running, and then they end up shooting him. Running and end up shooting him. So we need to be worried about and talking about solutions and preventative measures so that this don't happen again, so we don't have to keep having to go out here and protest and march. Because me, frankly, we're not going to be able to march our way to victory this time around. We got to be thinking proactively. We have to now start to institute the solutions that are on the table. People got solutions. Not even going to ask the question, what are solutions? People have them. The Nation of Islam has solutions. But the people have to act on those solutions. You got to act on them. You got to start building them. You have to bring them from ideas into reality. Nobody's going to do that but people. So the more we sit around here and continue to wait on our open enemy to give us a solution for what they doing to us, you have to be a fool. You have to be. To think that your open enemy will have your interest at heart, especially at the forefront of the table. Getting his cooperation on this is the last thing. That's at the back of the line. And I'm talking about even that include anti-hate bills, legislation passed to help protect black people. That's at the end of the line, honestly. We still have to worry about what we can do to prevent this stuff on our own. So how long is it going to take for us to really understand that concept? They don't care about black life. Many of y'all have said that. If black lives mattered, then we wouldn't be going through this right now. Duh. That's the whole point. So we know that black lives don't matter. And because we know that black lives don't matter, why do we continue to wait on our open enemy to act as if he thinks or even cares for black life? It don't make no sense, family. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. It's time to get up. You cannot think one who has enslaved your forefathers and the slave master's children enslaved you and I mentally, enslaved our forefathers physically, put them in bondage, raped them, murdered them, killed them, lynched them. And now all of a sudden they have become your brother and all of a sudden have your best interests at heart. We gotta wake up. And this is what I'm saying. The family talking about, we don't want there to be no protest. I mean, how do you expect people to feel? How do you expect people to react after being under constant tyranny, under constant terror, under constant oppression? What is the reaction supposed to be? It wouldn't be natural if you reacted any other way. And that's the problem. Black people live such an unnatural life because of the response that they have towards their open enemy. See? So what is the solution, brother King Cam? This is the solution. Separation. Separation and independence. See? We got it. We can't live in peace with these people, so we got to separate. See what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, man. In the back of the Final Call newspaper, man, on what the Muslims want. What did it say? Point number 4. We want our people in America whose parents or grandparents were descendants from slaves to be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of their own, either on this continent or elsewhere. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to provide such land, and that the area must be fertile and minerally rich. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to maintain and supply our needs in a separate territory for the next 20 to 25 years until we are able to produce and supply our own needs. Since we cannot get along with them in peace and equality, after giving them 400 years of our sweat and blood and receiving in return some of the worst treatment human beings have ever experienced. Do you see this? Do you see what they did to Jayland Brown? You saw it on camera. Now look at this. Look at this. This is going to justify what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about. See, because we can't live in peace with them after giving them 400 years of our sweat, blood, and tears. Now look at this. Now you got this guy who goes on the 4th of July in Highland Park, Chicago, and opens up fire at a parade. Horror on the 4th. Suspect in custody after 6 killed, dozens wounded at Highland Park 4th of July parade. This dude goes to the parade, starts shooting people, kills 6 people, injures a dozen more people, and they are able to put him in custody and keep him alive. After he killed people, family, Jayland Walker didn't kill nobody. Trayvon didn't kill nobody. Mike Brown didn't kill nobody. Sean Bell didn't kill nobody. You understand me? Tamir Rice didn't kill nobody. Sandra Bland didn't kill nobody. Floyd didn't kill nobody. George Floyd, he ain't kill nobody. Like, no, none of them people kill nobody. Eric Gardner didn't kill nobody. Philando Castile, Alton Sterling. Like, none of them people killed nobody. They was either minding their own or they was trying to get away from the police. And they ended up dead. But this bastard goes to a 4th of July parade with innocent people. And this demon opens up fire and kills 6 people. And the police are able to bring him into custody unharmed. This is not accidental. This is not coincidental. This is on purpose, family. These mass shooters, these white nationalists, they all in cahoots with the police department. That's why the police don't never kill them. That's why they can always bring them into custody. The one who shot up the school in Texas. No. Not the one that shot up the one in school in Texas. They killed him. The one that shot up the grocery store in Buffalo, he's alive. He went into custody. Dylan Roof, custody. Kyle Rittenhouse, custody, then set free. This one in this shootout in Chicago, custody. You see the pattern? But all of the names that I just mentioned before are the unarmed black men, dead. Unarmed black woman, dead. Breonna Taylor, dead. Do you see the pattern, family? It's not no coincidence. So it says that more than 8 hours after a gunman killed 6 people and wounded dozens more by firing a high-powered rifle from a rooftop onto a crowd attending Highland Park's 4th of July parade, police pulled over and peacefully arrested a man in Lake Forest they said was a suspect in one of the worst mass shootings in Illinois history. One of the worst shootings in Illinois' mass history, yet and still the police have the peace of mind to pull over and take this dude into custody after he just killed 6 people. But Trayvon didn't kill one person. Mike Brown didn't kill nobody. Philando Castile, Sean Bell, Oscar Grant, Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, the list goes on. The list goes on of the unarmed black people who didn't kill nobody. George Floyd was minding his own business. They was trying to stay out the way. But some kind of way end up dead at the hands of police officers. But those who kill innocent people, those who open fire on innocent people, your Dylan Roofs of the world, your Kyle Rittenhouse of the world, the one who shot up the Buffalo supermarket killing black people. And this white boy, this demon in Chicago who killed 6 innocent people in Chicago somehow managed to get into custody unscathed, unharmed, and alive. It's no coincidence, family. No coincidence. They're doing this on purpose. And this is what we got to put into our minds. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, since we cannot get along with them in peace and equality after giving them 400 years of our sweat and blood and receiving in return some of the worst treatment human beings have ever experienced, we believe our contributions to this land and the suffering forced upon us by white America justifies our demand for complete separation into a state of territory of our own. Did you hear what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said? It makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Our contributions to this land and the suffering forced upon us by white America. Black people ain't going nowhere looking for police and bothering them, taunting the police. Ain't nobody doing that. The police are forcing this terror on black people. This issue is bigger than just police and community interactions. These people in blue, and this is not all police, so don't take my words and twist them. We're not talking about all police officers. We know black police officers who do good work. You understand me? But that blue shield is so strong and is so heavily entrenched in corruption that the blue wall of silence overpowers and overshadows any of the good that the good officers do. That's just a fact. Stop. Hit the wrong button. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. And they gonna say what?
Stop the cap.
Nah.
Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit.
Nah. We not cap. This real talk. This real talk. This suffering is forced upon us by white America. We ain't bothering white America. They coming to inflict harm on us. They coming to inflict terror on us the same way that the Ku Klux Klan used to do. They used to come riding up on our houses, riding up on our lands and sticking stakes and crosses in the yard and setting them on fire, trying to scare somebody, knocking out windows and shooting and doing all of that kind of foolishness. They did that to put terror and fear in the people. And that same culture, the same blueprint, that same playbook they using today. Why? Because the fear is generational. They can put fear in you, and then you can instill that fear in the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation of offspring in your family. And this is why black people have such a difficulty rising up. And this is why when you see a Negro standing up to white people, you get scared because you like, wait a minute, he a different type of breed. He got some different blood in him because he ain't afraid of these white people. Yeah, absolutely. Different breed. Because there has to be one among us to stand up and speak truth to power. There has to be one among us who comes and tells us the truth of these wicked people. And the longer we sit around here and we keep trying to commingle, we keep trying to be equal, we keep trying to have a kumbaya moment with these individuals, the more you're going to suffer. See, the judgment of God is on America today as we speak. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it's the fall of America. And it's on America today. Why? Because the treatment of her former slaves. And guess who in here catching hell? Guess who catching hell too? You and I. We all getting caught up in the judgment because y'all don't want to leave white people alone. I don't give a damn about white people. I'm going to just tell it to you like that. You can take it or leave it alone. But I don't give a damn about white people. We caught up in the chastisement that God is supposed to be giving them. And because we won't leave them alone, we getting caught up in it too. See? Walaikum salam, Brother Michael. Walaikum salam, Sister Michelle. So, this is what's going on. So, let me read you what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said about Independence Day. See? Because this is very important right here. He said, whose independence? Since 1776, you, black man, you, black woman, have been worshiping the 4th of July along with the real author of the 4th of July, the white man, as a day of independence for themselves. It is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as a day of rejoicing over achieving this country's independence from any other foreign source. Now, the history of the 4th of July shows that is the Independence Day of the American white man. They wrote the Declaration of Independence for themselves. The white man did not put anything in the Declaration of Independence for the benefit of the black man. That's an absolute fact. He didn't put nothing in the Declaration of Independence for you and I. It had nothing to do with us. Remember, we were slaves. We were 3/5 of a human being when they wrote that. It had nothing to do with us. So all that life, liberty, freedom, of happiness and all that, freedom in the pursuit of happiness, didn't have nothing to do with us. See, we got it messed up. See, who was the servitude slave of the white man at that time? The joy which the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor in the days which the white man had set aside for celebration. That is all the black slave was rejoicing over, that he did not have to work that day. And so it is in 2022, going into 2023. What is it that we say? Even with us becoming more enlightened and us becoming more, quote unquote, conscious, we say, we don't celebrate the white man's holiday. I just appreciate and celebrating the fact that I don't got to go to work. It's the same slave talk that we've been saying since 1776, when you didn't have to go to work because the white man was celebrating the 4th of July. He told you, slave, you ain't got to do nothing today. We barbecuing on the front lawn. You ain't got to worry about it. But check this out. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, but you are free now, and you do not need this for an excuse for your worship of the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the gaining of the white man's independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on this same day of the 4th of July, at the coming of Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, on July 4th, 1930. The significance of his coming to us on the Independence Day of the white man is very great. It is their day of great rejoicing. As with former peoples and their governments, their destruction took place when they were at the height of their rejoicing. Nebuchadnezzar, according to the Bible history of him, Daniel chapter 4, was walking around in his palace and proudly looking around and admiring the skill of the work that he had set up, and said, has not all this my hand wrought? The Bible teaches us that while the words were in his mouth, the end came. Allah God changed his mind and heart from that of a civilized man to the mind and heart of a beast. He had the brain reactions of a wild beast, and he was cast out among the dumb brutes. What does that signify? It gives us a gleaning into the history of the white man and his being cast out of society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago, after he was made, and then started trouble among the people of the righteous. Troublemaking caused the white man his exile into the hills and cave sides of West Asia, as Europe was called at that time. So Allah God taught me. Its name was changed to Europe when the white man was cast into that area. Europe means a place where people are bound in to keep them out of society of the righteous. Moses made the white man as independent race through the guidance which Allah God gave Moses to guide the white man out of his savage cave life and to put him on the road of conquest of the black man. I'm just giving you a little history of your friends. See, when you understand the KV's original nature, then you'll stop wanting to hang with them. The problem is you don't really know who you hanging with, so you all snuggled up with the KVs, not understanding that they was really savages before Moses gave them some knowledge and raised them up from a savage beast level to a living perpendicular. For 400 years, the white man swallowed us, the black man of America, up. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He set a bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything other than what the white man was teaching our black slave fathers. This caged us in and made us just as secure a cage as the literal cage of Europe that the Arab people put the white man in 6,000 years ago. The 4th of July is the day of rejoicing of the white man over his opponents for the Western Hemisphere. He wrote his constitution for his own white people, not for his black slave. Since this is his day, which he set aside for himself, then what part, black brother, do you have in this day? Your part is not mixed with his part in the way of his own white politics and physical independence. But as I called your attention to the proud king Nebuchadnezzar's history and what happened to him at the height of his kingdom, Allah God never destroyed a powerful people nor deprived them of their self-independence when they were in trouble or when they were sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. He made them think that they would live forever. So it is with the coming of Allah God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. On his coming to us on the 4th of July, 1930, his presence meant the destruction of the independence of the white race and especially America over the black man. Allah God visited the black slave, for he is more in need of help to enjoy freedom of self. And this is what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching us, family. So the real significance of the 4th of July and how the 4th of July for white people signifies a day of independence. It signifies victory over their opponents. It signifies rejoicing and celebration for them and their independence, not understanding that also it's the same day that the God chose to come and make himself known to the black slave, which signified the death to white America, that signified the end to their power, that signified their total destruction of their world. They didn't even know it. Why? Because God never comes to destroy a people when they're oppressed or when they are, I want to use the terminology that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad used. See? Hold up. I can't find it right now, but But he never comes to destroy a people when they are when they are oppressed, right? He comes and destroy. Here, go right here. See? Allah God never destroyed a powerful people nor deprived them of self-independence when they were in trouble or when they were sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. So on the 4th of July, Americans feel happy. They feel proud to be Americans. See? This is how the God set it up. So when he comes, it marks their doom. And this is why we got to separate. What 4th of July is for us means our separation and true freedom and independence from among them. So let me play this clip from the minister. The minister did an interview during his 10-10-15 rounds that the minister was making, promoting the March on Washington for that. And I want us to check that out because the minister is in there, man, really helping us to really understand what's going on. And this is the purpose of 10-10-15, justice or else. And that's the same mindset we have to have today. The minister had that march in 2015. We have to have that mindset today when we're dealing with George Floyd and dealing with now Jayland Walker. We have to say justice or else. Well, what is the or else? The or else has to be something bigger than marching and protesting. The or else has to be bigger than some type of picketing, laying in, lying in. We can't be doing that. We got to have a bigger or else. We have to be talking about economic withdrawal as a or else. We need to be talking about not coming to work as a or else. We need to be serious about our separation as an or else. We need to be serious about withdrawing from paying taxes as a or else. Like, who are these Johnny come lately bootlicking weak-kneed black leadership Negroes who go up into the White House and to all these other places speaking on our behalf? All of these, hold on, let me pull it up, man. The Black Caucus and all of them. Like who are these people? We didn't nominate these people. The Congressional Black Caucus, right? Let's see what they had to say. Because I'm trying to figure out. Now they just last week, they was running around because of Roe v. Wade. Strong in the streets. Just last week, they were strong in the streets over Roe v. Wade. Let's see what they got to say about our brother, Jayland. It says, the Congressional Black Caucus on Wednesday called for more action on police reform following the death of Jayland Walker, a black man who was shot and killed by police in Akron, Ohio. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is all they want to talk about when it comes to the death of black people is police reform. Last week for Roe v. Wade, they was in the streets. They was with everything, with bullhorns. They was out there, would fight the power for Roe v. Wade. But a black man is shot 60 times in Akron, Ohio, and all you can talk about is police reform. That's all we got for the demon is police reform? Seriously? I'm going to read this quote from one of the Congressional Black Caucus chairmen, Joyce Betty, who's a Democrat from Ohio. This is her state. From every account, he was a family man loved by many. Congressional Black Caucus Chairman Joyce Betty of Ohio said in a statement, he should be alive today. The body camera footage is gut-wrenching and leaves us with far more questions than answers. This is all they got. That's all they got. That's all the black leadership got for the life of a black man. That's all the juice we got, family. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. It's really sad at this point. Pull the minister up, man. Because the minister talked about this, and this is the type of mindset, this is the type of spirit we have to have today. Justice or else. See? Pull the minister up, man. Will help us get a better understanding of what's happening. Hold on. Pull the minister up so y'all can hear this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a few minutes of this interview to help the minister get us inspired, motivated in the proper spirit for how we need to handle these things and how we need to move forward. And then after that, we're going to go over some solutions, and then we're going to go ahead and close it down for the night, family. But here's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on Rock Newman's show back in 2015 doing the leading up to the Justice or Else March.
But I'm here. And I told you before, I'm talking to members of the rabbis and the Jewish community, I told you before that you could get the government and all your influence against me. But as long as I stand on truth and stand with God, I will be the winner, whether you like it or not.
We have like 57 minutes in total for this show, and I got about 14,000 questions I want to ask you and things I'm trying to find out. One of them, again, I'm going to ask to the extent that you feel you have a license to do it. That pressure that you talked about that was influenced by members of, whether it's the Jewish community, the elite that runs and controls this country, whoever it may have been, that same influence was attempted to be used to prevent Nelson Mandela from spending any time with you, but you ended up spending time with him. Anything about the time you spent with him that you can share as to what he said about being able to meet you, any of that pressure or influence? Is it anything that you might be able to share?
Hold on. Because, man, we love our brother Nelson Mandela, but what we want to do is we want to skip that part real quick. All right, here we go. Minister, bring it back.
know that. He had white people around him, and he utilized their skills and talents and whatnot. But when our brother passed away, they gave him promises that they never kept. They promised him that they would build 100,000 homes. He never got it. One thing about the enemy, he's full of good promises that he never intends to keep. Mandela did not foment a war for the material wealth of South Africa that to this moment is still in the hands of white people. He wisely kept the peace so that we could grow into the knowledge and power to run all the industries. We can no longer in South Africa or in America tolerate the fact that the wealth is in the hands of others and we sit around like beggars, like Lazarus at the foot of the rich man, begging for the crumbs that fall from the rich man's table. We don't want the crumb. We don't want the loaf. We want the land that will allow us to plant the wheat seed, grow the wheat, turn it into flour, and make as much bread as we need to feed our people and others. We're not accepting nothing less than what we deserve to be the people that God wants us to be.
Knowing that we were going to do this interview, I invited a few folks who have made some what I would refer to as intelligent comments on Facebook to send me privately messages, a question, comment that they might want me to share with you today. One of them was, I found very interesting, and I'll try to phrase it properly. He said, is it not, you have an upcoming, it is being organized, an upcoming march and rally here in Washington, D.C., and the title is Justice or Else. And his comment was,
and this the part, y'all, this the part. Listen to this.
Is it naive to ask an evil empire for justice? And whether, and if it's not, then how do you define justice? And if you don't get justice, what does or else mean?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you, questioner. No, I'm not naive at all. The nature of the people that we're asking don't have it in them to give us justice.
Come on, brother
That's
minister.
why we don't have it.
That's right.
That's why there always has to be an or else.
Mm-hmm.
God never sent a prophet into the world with guidance and warning that in that warning there was not an inherent threat. When God told Pharaoh, let my people go, he didn't just tell him, let them go. There was an or else attached to it. Then 10 plagues were dropped on Pharaoh, and finally Pharaoh wanted to kill them, and that's when God killed all of the Egyptians. And some Egyptians got out with Moses and Aaron. When it was the time of the wicked in the days of Noah, God gave Noah to preach to them for their wickedness to change. When there was no change, another force was brought to them, and that was the power of God, and it was death. When it was Sodom and Gomorrah, the people in Sodom were doing something that had never been done before. Men looking to men with lust in their heart, as they should a woman. God sent Lot, and Lot warned them. They didn't pay any attention to Lot, so death came. And Sodom and Gomorrah don't even exist today. Not even a blade of grass grows there. And the Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. I want you, the man that wrote that, to know I'm not naive, nor am I stupid. You all have been begging for justice and jobs over and over and over again.
That's right.
God don't want you integrating into the house of your former slave master. Moses was teaching separation. Martin Luther King said, I've been to the mountaintop and I looked over and I've seen not the promised sky, but the promised land. Land will come to us, brother, and the or else, that's on God's term, but there's an or else for us. Martin Luther King, and the night before he was assassinated at Mason Temple in Memphis, as he went there to plead the case of the garbage workers, he said, we have to find a way to redistribute the pain. Mm-hmm. How did you want us to do that, Dr. King? He said at that time, we had a purchasing power of $30 billion. The 10th richest in the world. There were only 9 countries that had more power economically than the black community. It's about the same today, but today our purchasing power is 1.1 to 1.4 or 5 trillion dollars. So Dr. King advised the people, if they don't want to treat us fair, then we should involve ourselves in economic withdrawal. That's an or else that we can do. So we've decided we're not going to participate in spending our money on Christmas. We intend to bring Jesus to the forefront and let the Caucasian that comes down from the North Pole take himself and his 8 reindeers and go on back, because we're not setting our little black boys and girls on your lap asking you for what we want. We're going to hold our dollars and put them in our pocket. So Black Friday will really be white because we're not showing up. Every day from here to the end of the year, we're not buying from you. We're withdrawing our money. We're in pain, brother. Our community is suffering, and we need to redistribute the pain that we are feeling and let it hurt. And you know, when they say in God we trust, we know what God they trust in. Our face is not on the dollar bill, it's theirs. So we're going to keep it this time. And we're going to honor Christ as he should be honored and keep our money in our pocket.
See, family, that's what I'm talking about. Now we talking. Now you're talking about some leadership that's bringing some solutions. See, and that's what we got to be on today with this Jayland Walker situation, with, you know, all of the different things that are happening in the black community. As the minister said, we are suffering. Our community is going through things. People are dying each and every day. And then you wake up and you watch the news and you see a Jayland Walker in Akron, Ohio, who is shot at 90 times, hit 60 times under the domestic terrorism of the police in America. And this has happened over and over and over and over again. We can't continue to have the same program. We can't continue to march and protest with signs and scream and yell about justice and stand on podiums and pray for our open enemy and have prayer visuals and talk about forgiveness. We can't continue that same pattern of behavior. So as the minister said, as Dr. King said, we have to change it up. Now we have to redistribute the pain. So a way that we can administer justice or else is that we can practice economic withdrawal. We can practice making our communities a safe and decent place to live. But that means we got to step up to the plate. That means we got to come to the meetings. That means now we can no longer have selfish aspirations, but we got to donate, if not money, but time to volunteer to patrol in our community, just to make sure when the black and whites or the blue and whites coming through they don't have just their own eyes to be able to operate with autonomy with our people. Because if there was other people there when Jayland Walker was pulled over, it may not have escalated to the point that it did. Maybe our brother would have felt secure enough where he didn't have to flee from the police because there were other brothers and sisters like him that was there and other brothers that was there that had his back. Then think about that. If we had been in that situation with any of these other cases, whether it been Mike Brown or Trayvon Martin, where there had been other brothers there to have eyes on the situation, do you think George Zimmerman would have been as bold as he was? Do you think that them brothers in Brunswick, Georgia, do you think they would have been as bold with the way they handled with our brother Ahmaud Arbery if there had been brothers out there patrolling and seeing what they was doing to our brother? Black man, we got to stand up. We can't continue to sit back with our hands folded and talk on the internet and tweet and Facebook posts and Instagram posts about what's going on and what we would have done. No, we got to be the example now. Now we got to go into our communities and say, hey, look, we know it ain't happening here, but we are going to be moving proactively so it don't happen here. So we're going to have a force that's in our communities. We're going to have a force at our stores and restaurants. We're going to have a force at our schools to say, hey, look, don't even try it over here. See, that's the mindset that we have to have when it comes to protecting our community and being proactive, family. Because if not, we're going to continue to see the same thing. And as the minister said, see, the God is going to do his work. He going to do his work, but don't you get caught up in it. Don't you get caught up in it. So look, we getting ready to land this plane. The minister laid that out beautifully on the Justice of Else piece. And lastly, I want to just touch and segue over to what's been going on with our sister Brittney Griner, who is still detained in a Russian prison. And, you know, the White House has been called to act on her behalf to bring her back. She is a U.S. citizen. And as to be expected, the White House is slow in their response. Now, they said that Joe Biden has been reaching out to our sister and her family, and that's beautiful. But, Joe, what are we doing to get it done? What are we doing to get it done? Brittney Griner detainment explained. See? Why Russia is holding Phoenix Mercury star in custody and how NBA has reacted. So it talks about how she was detained in Russia after Russian Federal Customs Service claimed it found hashish oil in her luggage at an airport near Moscow. See? And it says Griner, who has played for a team in Russia during the WNBA offseason, was detained after Customs Service officials said they found vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage at the airport. The Customs Service also released a video of an individual at the airport who appears to be Griner going through security. Russian state TV showed a photo of Griner as a part of a segment that aired on March 5th. The photo was reportedly taken at a Russian police station. So she has been in custody since March. It is now July. You know, so now they saying that a criminal case has been opened in the large-scale transportation of drugs, which can carry a sentence of up to 10 years behind bars in Russia, according to the New York Times. So now, you know, the WNBA released a statement. U.S. basketball has released a statement. And the WNBPA, which is the Women's National Basketball Players Association, has released a statement. And the White House, I believe, has released a statement. Not just those three that I mentioned, which all pretty much said the same thing. They was closely monitoring the Brittney Griner situation in Russia, and that we remain in constant contact with her family, her representation, the WNBA, the NBA, blah, 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 blah. Right? But now check this out, though. Now this I want to show y'all, and I'm going to pull it up live right here. Because this is crazy. This is just as new. This is a new report that has been pulled that has happened. Hold on. because this is what Brittney Griner coach had to say. Now check this out. This is where her coach had to say. Now we want our sister to come home, right? We definitely want our sister to come home. Now I'm trying to see what the coach. The coach just had comments. I want y'all to see the coach comments. Boom. Now we want to read her full statement. This is from The Hill. We want to read her full statement, right? Phoenix Mercury coach on Brittney Griner's detainment. If it was LeBron, he'd be home. Very interesting. Phoenix Mercury head coach Vanessa Nygaard on Monday made remarks on the ongoing detainment of WNBA star Brittney Griner by Russian authorities, asking if Los Angeles Lakers star forward LeBron James would be in detainment this long if he were in Griner's position. Speaking to reporters after her team's loss to the Los Angeles Sparks, Nygaard showed her frustration with the delay of Griner's return to U.S. soil, saying that Griner being a black and openly gay woman makes it harder to gain awareness for her case, according to USA Today. Now, Griner, a 7-time WNBA All-Star, has been held in detainment by Russian authorities since Friday and is accused of having vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage. If it was LeBron, he'd be home, right? Nygaard asked the media. It's a statement about the value of women. It's a statement about the value of a black person. It's a statement about the value of a gay person. All of those things, we know it. And so that's what hurts a little more. Now, that's what the coach had to say about Brittney Griner's situation. Now, the problem that I have with the statements that the coach had to say was the fact that she said it shows the value of a black person. So if she says that the fact that Brittney Griner is being detained in Russia and the ongoing situation is taken and dragging along, she mentions the fact that if it was LeBron, he'd be home by now. So how in the same statement do you say it shows the value of a black person? Because if it shows the value of a black person, LeBron is included in the value of a black person, is it not? So regardless if it's LeBron or not, we should not be trying to separate the two if it's the value of a black person. And not the fact that she's an openly gay black woman. Because the question is now, where is the LGBTQ community? Because see, the LGBTQ community don't mind coming out when it's got something to do with their rights or got something to do with, some openly white gay person, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, where's all the white LGBTQ community? Where is all the support? Why y'all not out there protesting and moving for Sister Brittney Griner, because she's a part of the community? See? And this is why we always try to tell you that it's not, you can't put your sexual orientation first before being black. You can't put your gender first before being black. You can't put your religion first before being black. Because at the end of the day, you black first. Be one first. And this is what everybody else sees about you. You the only one that don't see that about yourself, and that's why you keep tripping and falling and can't get up. Because you keep going for the facade that somehow you can put your religion, you can put your sexuality, your sexual orientation, you can put your gender, all of that can come before you being black, and look where it gets you each and every time. Because now Brittney Griner is sitting in a Russian prison, and the LGBTQ haven't rioted, protests, forced legislation. They even went to their local congressperson. They even went to their state senator. They haven't wrote any letters to the president that we know of to apply any pressure on them to let our sister go. So what now? I'm trying to understand where y'all at, because they got a lot of smoke for anybody else on any other issues, but y'all not gonna come to Sister A. So that's another thing that we're gonna be closely monitoring as well, family. All right, and we're going to be praying for the family. We're going to be praying for our sister, Brittney Griner, as well. But, man, that's all I got for today, family. And I pray that this was impactful, that you was able to get something out of this, that we was able to educate you, and that you visited us here at the Campaign TV Show and you learned something new, and that you come away from the show with higher understanding than you did when you arrived immediately in the beginning. All right, family. So I pray again that was helpful, and may Allah continue to bless you with the light of understanding. And we leave you in the greeting words of peace, as we say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own.
You know. Not your average nigga, I'm a guy out the hood. They can't downplay me. I came up, I'm elevated. I ain't gotta say too much for them to know I'm coming for what's mine. You know they see me in my presence, say. They see how I'm coming. Young, but you not just gonna finesse me like you did my peoples. Then back when you said they was emancipated. This ain't that. Your head too big. You feeling yourself. The game wasn't fair. You had the advantage. We wasn't educated. I don't look at you people the same. Nah. Your worst nightmare, my skin tone about them chains. Yeah. Not no circus lion, son, I can't be tamed. You gon' have to kill me, pussy. Toby ain't my name. Y'all still want us think our history started when we were slaves? What? Come on now, talk about them.